See comic books? Let's talk comics. Specifically, let's talk about the Phoenix Comicon. So in Bleeding Cool, a news article kind of popped up about a woman named Annabelle Martinez and how she had essentially been excommunicated or banned from Phoenix Comicon by, I guess, one of the organizers named Matt Solberg. So this is just like a bit of bad press for Phoenix Comic Con because apparently Annabelle Martinez is airing some beef, right? She posted photos of the check that was returned and a pretty scathing letter by Matt Solberg. But that's not the only thing that's in the news about this specifically. On a website called An Englishman in San Diego.com, a story was posted about how the company Square Egg Entertainment, the organizers of Phoenix Comic Con, have decided to make a significant change to how they get volunteers. So that's the key word here, right? Volunteers. You're running an event, and it's going to need a ton of people to coordinate. If you've been to any comic book convention of a decent size, you can kind of imagine what I'm talking about. WonderCon this past year had like hundreds of volunteers, right? So Phoenix Comic Con, which I guess this is a picture of, you can see on the screen, kind of a big deal. You're going to need a few volunteers. Now, apparently, the change that Square Egg Entertainment is making is that they're basically going to only take volunteers from members of an organization called the Blue Ribbon Army, which is essentially a non-profit organization, and it started off as a fan group for the Phoenix Comic Con. Now, the gist of this is that you have to pay a minimum of $20 a year to be a member of the Blue Ribbon Army. So, essentially, Phoenix Comic Con is charging volunteers $20 to volunteer for them. Now, there's two sides to the story, obviously. Blue Ribbon Army actually, is a year-long organization. They hold, according to their website at least, they hold monthly events. So Phoenix Comic Con is just one of those. What's troubling is, however, that Matt Solberg is a board member of both the Phoenix Comic Con, which is a for-profit organization, and he's also a board member of the Blue Ribbon Army, which is a non-profit organization that is now supplying quote-unquote volunteers who are paying $20 for the privilege of working for free at the Phoenix Comic Con. So the fact that Matt Solberg is a board member of both of those entities seems like a conflict of interest. And even if it's not a conflict of interest, there's just the idea of having to join an organization to volunteer for a Comic-Con seems a bit weird. Now, I don't really know if joining has other benefits. Like I said, the Blue Ribbon Army website does say that they hold other events, so maybe that's the advantage. But specific to the Phoenix Comic-Con, this seems detrimental, not an advantage. This seems like the Phoenix Comic-Con is trying to basically not only obtain free labor, but literally charge people for the privilege of giving them free labor. So are the people who are volunteering at Phoenix Comic-Con getting some kind of special perk? Like, say, like a variant cover that no one else is getting, maybe a con exclusive, it doesn't look that way. Matt Solberg, at least in the two stories about him, he seems like a thin-skinned guy who is very vindictive. Annabelle Martinez claims that she's been told by somebody who works for Phoenix Comic Con that Matt is working, to basically assassinate her character. In the letter, he doesn't seem like a very decent dude. It sounds like what he's engaging in is at least conflict of interest, at worst, something that seems illegal. Now, I'm not a lawyer, so obviously I'm out of my depth when I say that, but it just doesn't seem right. It seems as if Phoenix Comicon is taking advantage of people, right? And not only taking advantage of people, but going after people who speak out against them, like Annabelle Martinez. So I don't think Matt Solberg is doing this to, like, make money. But I do think that Phoenix Comicon is doing this to avoid paying for labor. And a lot of it seems fishy. So that's something that's happening in the comic book world right now that's just caught my attention. And we'll see how all this fares out. Maybe some of the things that I'm concerned about are, are not factually correct. Time will tell, right? Maybe Matt Solberg is in the right. But right now, it seems as if Matt Solberg is in the running for Scumbag of the Year just in time for 2016 to come to an end. In other comic book news, Free Comic Book Day, not only do you get 12 gold sponsored comics and 38 silver comics available for your perusing and picking up on Free Comic Book Day, and I talked about those comics in another video, but apparently they're also going to be giving away on that day 2 educational support materials. So one of them is right here from the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund. And I guess this is the cover that they're going with: Help the CBLDF Defend Comics. So this is a possible thing that you can pick up. So in another video, like I said, I talked about which of the gold and silver level comics seem like the gems of Free Comic Book Day for this year, which is in 126 days according to that countdown right there. But the one that's kind of got me excited is actually this guy right here. So this is the cover that they're going with for Free Comic Book Day 2017, The Overstreet Guide to Collecting. So this is one that I'm going to be looking for. It's an educational material. Obviously, if you're new to comics, and Free Comic Book Day is an event that's designed to get new readers into the hobby, right? And to get old readers back into the hobby. And not only do you give them a free comic book, but this year, for the first time ever, the Overstreet Guide to Collecting, like a little insert, will also be given away, where they talk about stuff like how to grade comics and just a general hobby of collecting comics. That seems like a great fit for the event. Even though I've been reading comics for pretty much my whole life on and off, I'm definitely going for this because the cover looks awesome, right? So those are the 2 things in comics right now. Don't forget that if you become a subscriber, you have a chance of winning the graphic novel trade paperback for Watchmen. There's a video about that there's another video about that in my channel, so you can definitely check that out. My first accountability video is going to be posted sometime next week, as well as the comics releasing for January 4th, my comic book recommendations for that. So be looking for those. Oh, and one more thing, I will be giving away another comic book, this time not a trade graphic, but a loose leaf comic, sometime in January 2017. So be sure to subscribe, like, comment below. Particularly if you know more about Matt Solberg or have more information about, the Phoenix Comicon. I would love to hear from somebody who is in the Blue Ribbon Army themselves or a volunteer in the Phoenix Comicon this year. So like I said, subscribe, hit the like button, comment below, and as always, I'm very, very grateful and happy to be part of the comic community here on YouTube. I look forward to your support, and thank you.